It's the UW Whitewater Warhawks out of the WIAC going up against the Wisconsin Badgers of the Big Ten. Alongside Vince Hesbrick, I'm John Green, wishing you good afternoon. And tip-off right here, Sarah Williams for the Badgers is going up against Hildebrandt for Whitewater, and we are now underway. New players, new faces for both these squads as Whitewater immediately able to get a steal off the bat with Jimenez.
Wow, right off the gate, John, see some physical play. I mean, we talked to Coach Corallo, and she told us that, it's an exhibition game. She wants to get her players some looks, but she wants to compete against this Wisconsin team. Early going, you're seeing that.
So now Whitewater on their first possession. It's Trouch with the ball on the right wing. Passes it down low, finding her teammate. Now back out to Trouch, trying to get in, going up against Leisinger. Now passes it in to Hildebrandt. Trying to make a move off the glass, could not come up with it. Shramick there on defense. Now back out to the top. Trouch to the left wing, three-pointer. That one goes over from Alexander, but stays with Whitewater.
Multiple offensive rebounds here from Whitewater. That was a struggle for the Badgers last year.
There's Trouch again. That one no good. It'll go out of bounds. Wisconsin will get their second crack at it.
Pretty wild start to the season, huh, John?
Yeah, and probably see a lot of substitutions this afternoon, Vince. Starters for the Badgers: Brooke Shramick, Ronnie Porter, Deonis Jimenez, Natalie Leisinger, and Sarah Williams, who was, of course, the standout freshman in the Big Ten. And Williams now down low in the paint, could not corral it in. She got her own rebound, though. Tried to dish it out to Porter, but she could not secure it.
And while we're talking about Williams, had a fantastic freshman season. I'm sure she'll be a centerpiece of Wisconsin teams for years to come. But pretty good scorer, too. Want to see her develop her low post game a bit more.
Corallo gave it to Trouch. Could not connect on that one. Porter goes the other way with it. Porter on that left wing, trying to go down low off the glass and in. And that's our first points of this afternoon.
Wow, what a athletic play there, but struggle in transition.
Attempt. But Wisconsin goes the other way. Porter thought about it down low to Williams and blocked.
And this is the focus for Badger teams. They talk about how they weren't a super great transition team next year. They want to get out, pick up the pace, and looks like they got themselves a foul because of that.
To the line for the Badgers, number 25, Sarah Williams, shooting two.
Williams on the first free throw off the foul. Drills it in. Her first points of this game.
Averaged just under 2 blocks per game last year. Excellent presence inside.
Makes the second one. Perfect trip to the free throw line for Sarah Williams, who last season was 66.9% from the stripe. Left elbow shot good coming in from Grundahl.
And who else but Grundahl has won WIAC Player of the Year the last 2 years in a row. Just a brilliant player. Might be the most well-rounded player on the floor, period.
Shermick passes it to Jimenez, the freshman. Makes a move down low and couldn't get it in. Whitewater goes the other way. Foul called as Corallo is trying to get closer to the basket. And it'll be the Badgers' first foul. Grundahl will pass it in and finds Corallo. Corallo, of course, leading in many of the stats for Whitewater last year.
Well, you said it, John. She's a 5'9" guard, averaged almost 8 rebounds per game.
And that one's stolen by Porter. She'll slow it down here, letting her team get back up the court. Jimenez there, trying to find Williams, but Grundahl takes it away.
A lot of upperclassmen on this Warhawks team.
Grundahl loses it, and it's Jimenez with the ball to Porter. Goes up, draws the foul, and she'll have a free throw trip.
Wow, we've said Ronnie Porter's names a couple times already this year. Didn't see a ton of minutes last year, but sophomore from St. Paul has been playing with some authority to start this game.
And Ronnie Porter, of course, kind of now replacing Avery LaBarbera, who was point guard last year. A transfer LaBarbera was, but her tenure here is done after a season. And Porter did it right on that one. And before LaBarbera, it was Katie Nelson at point guard, who was another grad transfer. So now they're going to the sophomore guard, sitting at 5'4".
A lot of roles up for grabs with Wisconsin. They lost their top 3 scorers from last year. This is a very important recruiting class for the Badgers.
Yeah, Mosley's now getting a lot of her players now in the Wisconsin system. Now her third season, whistle blows, and now Whitewater will inbound it off foul.
Foul called against the Badgers. It's on number 3, Brooke Schramm. That's her first personal foul, second team foul.
Sherman called on that. That's her first foul of the night. Or of the day. There's Hildenbrandt at the top. To Grundall. Now to Brandt off the glass, kisses it in.
Wow, what a move in the post. I mean, Whitewater's a D3 team, but they're among the best there is in that category. It's come up so close to so many national titles.
Pass from Williams looking for Stramick. It's tipped out of bounds. He'll stay with Wisconsin. Leisinger will inbound it. Starting in this exhibition match, a senior forward.
And those seniors are going to be valuable. I believe Wisconsin, 9 underclassmen on the roster this year.
Mallory Olofsson checked in for Katie Hildebrandt, who just got that basket, but Wisconsin immediately turns it over. And the Warhawks can take the lead on this possession.
And that's already the 3rd turnover on Wisconsin. It was a problem last year. I guess that's the value of these exhibition matches.
The Badgers turned it over on average 17.7 times per game last year. This one coming from around the stripe. That was Olofsson who just checked in. Foul called on the Badgers. It's on a Guyan, a freshman, 6 foot forward from Spain.
And that's the Warhawks' bread and butter right there. They're a motion offense, love to pass the ball around, but also very good at rebounding as well. Just a great job of them transferring that space and then getting the rebound off the miss.
Lots of substitutions there. Guyan will inbound it. Finds her fellow freshman in Jimenez. Back to Guyan. Now on the left, it's Patty Bandla. A lot of freshmen out there. There's Williams down low. Off the glass and in. Takes the lead back.
And that height on full display there, just towering over Warhawk defenders. And now here she's on the defensive end.
Williams able to force a turnover and a foul. So back-to-back plays both on offense and defense by Sarah Williams. There's Jimenez up to Guyan. Patty Bandla now to Williams in the paint. And the foul called against London Alexander. That's their second.
Yeah, Williams having some early success. I mean, even if you're not scoring, just being that physical presence and drawing those fouls. You know, Whitewater, they might be making extra substitutions this year, but they want to see their starters play some heavy minutes today.
Inbounds it all the way to Jimenez. Porter for three, and it's good. Porter from distance gets the Badgers in a double digits.
Wisconsin loves their threes. If they can get their freshmen hitting consistently, that's going to be great for their offense.
And a great pass down low to Olofsson. She's able to respond, but the Warhawks still trail by 2. Now a 3, again, this one no good, coming from Patty Banlaw.
As I mentioned before, but I mean, they have had success consistently, just no drop-off whatsoever. They keep bringing in the best players that Wisconsin has to offer, and the results keep speaking for themselves.
Bounce pass into the side, and could not kiss it off was Grundahl. Almost able to finish that one off. Now it's Porter to Leisinger. It's Schrammick. Back to Porter. Now moving around with it, going to Sarah Williams, who goes up top for it. Gets it. First shot, no good. Second shot is, and one.
And a triumphant roar from Williams there, powering through contact. But that's Coach Mo's philosophy right there. She loves that pick and roll action, freeing her big men down low or freeing her perimeter players to shoot up some threes. Offense on full display right there for the Badgers.
And makes that a 3-point play. Gets the Badgers up to 13. As it's Trausch. And that one off course from Corallo. It's Jimenez. Passes behind her, and Williams keeps it in play. What a play by Williams to keep it in. Throwing it behind her back. And it will, though, go over to UW Whitewater.
Yeah, what a play from Carollo as well. I mean, second on her team in steals. Such a well-rounded player. I mean, they didn't give up on the possession after Williams saved it. I mean, she recognized where the ball was going, able to rip it away from the Badgers.
Actually, they're going to change it. It's going to stay with the Badgers. So Sarah Williams, great play. Keeps it in possession for Wisconsin. Jimenez got it on the inbound. Now to Williams in the paint. Draws another foul.
And you're kind of seeing, it's clear that Whitewater came into this game with the intention of doubling Williams. And she looked a little flustered there, but still able to draw a foul. I mean, not a bad free throw shooter. Shot 670 last year. If you can bring her to the line every possession, you're probably going to have yourself a pretty good season.
And again, Williams making her free throws.
And that's so important for a player like her. When you're such a physical presence inside, you're going to get hacked quite a bit.
I mean, she's perfect tonight, 4 for 4. Looking to go 5 for 5.
I know it might sound silly to say in the first quarter. I think this is a pretty important couple possessions for Whitewater. I mean, they've already committed 6 fouls on the day, Wisconsin leading by 6. I really do think that Whitewater can do more than just compete against Wisconsin tonight, but they cannot be playing catch up.
Looked like Olofsson was getting her shoe tied there by the UW Whitewater bench, and that one almost but comes out of the basket. And Williams now 4 for 5 on the day from the charity stripe. So it gets the Badger a point there. Now 14-8. Hildebrandt. Now a 3 coming from distance. Trausch gets the Warhawks in the double digits. Ronnie Porter running the point to Jimenez. Making moves. Dishes it to Williams against some heavy contact. And again, we'll go to the free throw line, drawing all of the attention down low.
Yeah, you're starting to see some frustration here from Whitewater. I mean, I kind of can sympathize them a little bit. Frankly, I wouldn't know how you would guard Williams in this spot. She's just such a tall player. I mean, I guess getting physical down low and double teaming is the way to go, but She's just been so good at drawing those fouls.
And her good day at the free throw line continues, making that one. To get the Badgers to 16, and does.
John, the Badgers have 16 points. Williams has 10 of them.
And a lot of that production coming from the free throw line. 6 of them. 6 for 7 on the day. Now a 3 coming from the left wing. A bit too powerful on that. That one came from McCurdy. Hildebrandt, right wing, back out to the left. That one is drilled, coming from Carlallo.
And what a cross-court pass from Belschner there. My goodness, over the head of 3 Badgers. Not much of a window there, but gets her shooter an open look. Great play.
Yeah, Casey Carlallo last season, efficient for 34%. Beyond. Schrammick trying to spin and get it in. Could not. The Warhawks come the other way fast. Now they slow it down. A 3-pointer comes up just shy, bounces off the rim, off the glass.
And that was Wisconsin. One of their issues last year was they were last in the Big Ten in 3-point percentage allowed. So they're willing to give these shooters open looks, and Whitewater pretty good in that department.
The Schrammick 3 off to the right. And a foul called on the Badgers.
Look at this Whitewater bench, though, John. They are fired up to be here. So far, you have to say they're rising to the moment. I mean, their coach talked to us at length about how much fun it is to be at the Kohl Center. Mentioned that, most of these players are from Wisconsin. So, when you're from Wisconsin, this is always your dream, she said, to play games at the Kohl Center. It's what you grow up watching. They're getting that opportunity, but they're not here to just enjoy it.
The free throw no good from Mallory Olofsson.
She said was going to have a bigger role this year. Played just about 10 minutes a game last year.
And the junior forward goes 1 for 2 on that trip. Inbounding it will be MB Jones. For Badger fans, she is a freshman forward. Just one of the many freshmen or underclassmen on this team. There's Jones. Down to Williams, back in there, and couldn't get that one in. Nearly did. Facing some contact once more, no foul.
Excellent defense from Belschner, though. She didn't move, just got her hands, great positioning, and forced a really difficult shot.
Hildebrandt trying to get down and draws a charge. Natalie Leisinger.
And I'll tell you what, John, that takes courage to stand in there and take a blow like that. I mean, if I saw some of these Whitewater players coming at me, I'd probably duck down and hide. So being able to stand in there and draw that offensive foul takes courage.
Leisinger may get some more playing time this season. A senior, hasn't gotten a lot through her Badger career, but one of the more experienced players on this team. We see a lot more for this season. Now it's Jimenez getting near. Foul called on her route to the basket.
Yeah, there's definitely spots up for grabs in this Wisconsin rotation. They mentioned before they've lost their top 3 scorers. I mean, and the roles that they covered were just so important. Look at Julie Pospisilova. I mean, she wasn't the most efficient shooter ever, but she was someone who could take over games by herself. Definitely did against Michigan last year.
Giannis Jimenez, free throw good. Of course, both these teams and the bonus, so getting their free trips to the free throw line on any of these fouls. Second one is good. Goes 2 for 2 on that trip. Gets the Badgers up 2-18 for a 3-point lead. Williams playing defense there right around the post. Now a nice pass down into the paint. Moving it in and off the glass from Mia Gillis.
And an excellent backdoor pass there. Double teamed inside. Great awareness to find her score.
Williams spins it off into the basket.
An excellent spin move from Williams there. Sometimes it's not about getting wide open, just about getting closer to the basket.
A three-pointer comes up short from Corallo. Made one earlier. This will go in possession of the Badgers. 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Checking back in for your Badgers, number 13, Ronnie Porter. Checking for the Warhawks, number 24, Sylvia Fox.
Sylvia Fox comes in for UW Whitewater.
When we asked about, or Coach Corallo about players to watch, I mean, Fox was the first name she said. She's excited about what this freshman can bring to the team.
No shot clock, 25 seconds left. See what Deanna Jimenez and the Badgers do, and a foul called there on Corallo.
Whitewater with 10 fouls in this first quarter. You know, you can tell they're energized to be here. They've certainly risen to the moment in terms of getting that adrenaline rush, but sometimes when you get so excited to compete on a big stage, you know, try and do a little bit too much. I think that's what the Warhawks are doing right now.
Jimenez drills that one, nothing but net. 21 points, 21 seconds left in the first quarter. Jimenez's second offering no good. Now 3 for 4 from the line today. Under 15 in the quarter. The Warhawks looking to finish off the quarter. Corallo on the left wing, defended by Jimenez. She tries to move in. 4 seconds left. Passes it in, and a travel called on Olofsson. And with 2.4 seconds left, the Badgers will inbound it. Marissa Mosley calls a timeout. So, under 2.5 to go in the first opening quarter, basically of the season. The Badgers will look to, get a playoff here, see what they can do. I mean, this is the time to do it. Some good practice for Mosley's squad.
Absolutely, and Coach Mosley was the one who approached Whitewater about coming to this meeting today. I mean, Wisconsin, they played WIAC teams in the past. I believe they...
Here to start out the second quarter, live on Big Ten Plus, John Green alongside Vince Hesbrick. Badgers take the lead after the first quarter, 21-17. Warhawks out here to start the second. Hillebrand at the top. To her right in Trouch. There's Corallo on the left wing, down low to Hillebrand. There's Hillebrand. Down low to Corallo. Shot clock expires, jump ball forced. And this will go in possession of the Badgers.
And what an impressive collective effort from this Badgers defense. They struggled last year in that department. I believe they're in the bottom 5% of the nation in terms of points allowed per game. That being said, they had an incredibly difficult conference schedule.
Correction from the rest. It was indeed a shot clock violation as Jimenez goes up with the ball. There's Schrammick to Porter. Porter takes it to Williams, who jumps high for it. Back out to Porter, 13 on the shot clock, and Whitewater forces a turnover.
And we're seeing some adjustments here from the Warhawks, making Williams pass out.
Williams' first turnover of the game. There's Trouch up to Gillis. There's Corallo. Corallo coming in off Weisinger's foot. And it's still loose. Trouch from the post. And Porter comes up with the rebound. Going other way. Williams, no good. Was wide open. Now she'll get a second offering. And that one's good. And that's the Badgers' first points of the second quarter.
Well, transition offense and emphasis for the Badgers. See it right there.
That 3 attempt was good, but on the rebound, Mia Gillis converts it too.
Yeah, you talk about transition. It's not just offense. We've seen a couple times, though, where Wisconsin, they get out on the break, they get the points, then they're slow to come back, and Whitewater has an open look.
Jimenez is trapped. Stramick finds Williams in the paint, and no good on that lay-in. Corralo comes up for the Warhawks. Behind her back, off the glass, and in. And now the Warhawks trail just by 2. Porter racing up, finds Williams. That one off the glass and in. Williams connects after a misfire on the prior possession. Second quarter or in the first half. Out of the Whitewater timeout, UW Whitewater will inbound it. It'll be Grundahl to take it.
Well, you can see Coach Corralo definitely not treating this game like a scrimmage. She was really getting fiery with her players in the huddle during the timeout.
Corralo to her right finds McCurdy. McCurdy down low to Grundahl. Back out to McCurdy. Porter tips it away, forcing the pressure, and UW Whitewater will have to reset. Grundahl has it to Corralo. 7 left on the shot clock. Trouch bouncing it in, now kicks it out. There's Grundahl down low and gets it in right before the shot clock would expire, and the Warhawks get points there.
An excellent ball movement there. Belschner could have easily shot that 3 ball and say recognized her teammate had a better shot down low.
Stramick still looking for her first points. Gives it to Porter. Porter surrounded by Hildebrandt. Finds Leitzinger and off the glass. Hildebrandt going up against Stramick. Went off the Badgers. So UW Whitewater will inbound it below the basket. All the way out, finding McCurdy. McCurdy to the right finds Trouch. And for rainbow pass and a foul called as Leitzinger goes down on a fight for the rebound. That foul was Casey Corralo getting tangled up with Natalie Leitzinger.
And a very apologetic foul. You can tell she felt bad about it. The last thing anyone wants to have happen in a scrimmage game is someone winds up getting an injury that affects the regular season.
Yeah, no ill will there. Just a scrap for the ball. Ronnie Porter coming up the left side finds Natalie Leitzinger to Brooke Stramick. There's Jimenez to Leitzinger, bound to Porter on the left. Porter coming into the Big Ten paint, and a travel called on Ronnie Porter. Another turnover for the Badgers.
Wisconsin might have the team with the better athletes overall, but you couldn't tell based off of that last possession. There's so many times where it looked like Wisconsin was going to have an open 3 off the pass, but just excellent closeout from the Warhawks there.
All right, to Bree McCurdy. McCurdy, dribble, and passes it. Olofsson. Now on the left, Trouch. Out to Gillis, and her shot is good. Lead cut down to 2.
And just as it looked like Wisconsin is starting to pull ahead, Whitewater answers right back. It's a game of runs.
Leitzinger finds Williams, and she responds with that one. Gets the Badgers back up 4. Olofsson at the top. Be a foul called on Sarah Williams there. That's Sarah Williams' first foul. She was gotten in a lot of foul trouble last season, but here has been clean up until that point. Patty Banla checks in for Natalie Leisinger on the Badgers side. Crouch to Grundle. Grundle back to Trouch. 8 on the shot clock. Hildebrandt trying to make a move with 3 seconds left. Going up against Williams, just lofts it up. And the shot clock will expire. So the Badgers will get the ball.
Wow, great job from Williams there. I mean, you can tell this Whitewater team practices their low post moves quite a bit, where they get a lot of their points, but just a great job not going for any of those shot fakes. I guess if you're that much taller, you don't really have to go for any of the fakes. It's almost like you're always in position.
Seen a lot of Deanna Jimenez this afternoon, and she draws a foul. Renee Rittmeyer called on that one.
And it's easy to criticize Whitewater for the number of fouls they've committed in this one, but I mean, credit to Wisconsin. They're putting themselves in position to draw these fouls. I mean, sometimes it's not always pretty to say, but these teams prefer to, they're willing to be a little sneaky to get to the line.
Jimenez out to Porter. Porter teaming up with Williams. She'll shoot it herself and got it. Under 5 to go in the first half.
And what a spin move there. Wisconsin doing a lot of handoff patterns. They make the pattern, then they break it. Makes the fake so effective.
Coming in, Trouch off the back of the rim. It'll be Deanna Jimenez going up the other way. Finds Ronnie Porter. Porter dishes it to Williams. Williams making a move. And what a play again by Sarah Williams.
And we talked about footwork, that technical side being important to her going into her sophomore year. We saw it right there. Great job from her pivoting towards the basket.
Schramming on defense. Ball got loose. And Deanna Jimenez and Porter come out with it. Porter with Patty Banlon to her left. Shoots it up. No foul called. And the Warhawks come the other way. Rittmeyer has to backtrack. Stays with the Warhawks. Shot lofted up. Short coming from Sylvia Fox.
Man, this game's reminding me of the Fitness Gram Pacer test here, John. A lot of running back and forth.
Coach Mosley wants a foul. Did not get one called there. Just a scrap for the ball. Both teams going in on it. Ronnie Porter by the logo to Brooke Stramick. 10 left on the shot clock. From Patty Blanda, and comes up short on that one.
Well, if you're Wisconsin, all you can do is get your people open looks. Honestly, that's the case if you're any team whatsoever. And I think both teams overall have been doing a good job putting themselves in position. Just haven't been able to finish too well.
Olofsson shoots. And be a timeout or no timeout. Porter takes the ball up. Porter to Stramick. Finds Williams. Great pass. Trying to find Patty Bandla. And it goes out.
And that's going to be important for Williams today if she's going to keep getting doubled like I'd expect her to. I mean, at some point, you're not going to be able to power through that double team. Got to find not just an open person, but the open person who can get the best shot.
Porter. Brooke Stramick down low. Tight pass down to Leisinger. Leisinger to Stramick. Stramick for 3. Trying to get her first points and just left of the basket. Williams on the rebound. And once more, it's Sarah Williams making it 35 for the Badgers and a double-digit lead.
She has scored 22 of the Badgers' 35 points.
Very quick response on the field goal. No good. Coming from Grundahl. Ronnie Porter looking to go up 12 with the Badgers. Under 2:20 to go in the second quarter. Finds Brooke Shermick all the way to the left. Patty Bandla going down. Williams. Yes, she did. It's been the Sarah Williams show this afternoon.
I believe her career high is 31 points. I mean, at this rate, she's going to get close in this first half.
Grundahl trying to get off the glass. Could not connect. And the Badgers will have the ball. Maybe Jones will check in, along with Giannis Jimenez.
Well, John, I talked a lot about the value of Wisconsin playing a veteran team like Whitewater, but I think that works both ways as well. I mean, there's going to be some teams in the WIAC and in the eventual tournament that are going to have some tall players like Williams, and this is a great way for them to learn some schematic adjustments they might have to make.
Shermick passes it to down low to Jones, who came up short. About a minute and a half to go in the first half. Hildebrandt to McCurdy, back to Grundahl, and back to McCurdy. There's Hildebrandt. Finds Grundahl. What a move. Gets it down.
Wow, that was tough. Immediately shooting out of the spin.
Giannis Jimenez off the side of the backboard. Coming the other way. Come the Warhawks. McCurdy stops and gives it to Hildebrandt. Grundahl trying to spin on Shremick and draws the foul with under a minute to go in the second quarter.
And you're starting to see why Grundahl, multiple-time WIAH Player of the Year. I mean, it's not just that she gives you so many points, give you just over 14 per game. She could probably get more if she wanted, but she knows that sometimes you got to make the better play. First on the team in assists last year. Just having somebody who's not just super efficient, but also so self-aware, so valuable.
So Grundahl shoot her free throws here. Couldn't get the first one down.
Shot just over 80% from the line last year.
It was 2 for 2 on the day before that one. And goes 0 for 2 on that trip, making it 2 for 4. Porter looking for a gap. Finds Leisinger, shoots the 3, and no doubt about it. Taking it away, Jimenez. Ball comes loose. She'll let it go out. Stays with the Badgers. 35 left in the second quarter. 25 left on the shot clock.
Well, we talked a lot about Sarah Williams so far today, but Porter has also been incredibly impressive in her own right. An excellent pass from her to set up the Badgers 3, and then on the defensive end with a nice steal.
Jimenez bounce back, takes it. And what a move by Giannis Jimenez.
That looks like something you practice in the driveway sometimes. Behind the back, step back midi. Got the fans going here at the Kohl Center.
14 left in this quarter. Shot clock is off. It'll be London Alexander finding Trouch. She takes the 3. That one comes up short. 3.7 left in the half and a foul called.
This was a pretty close game, not just going into the second quarter, but partway through it. Badgers in the midst of a 15-2 run, though, over the last 5:48.
Trying to get a shot off Ronnie Porter from half court and over the backboard. And that will conclude the second quarter. Badgers a 15-point lead, 42-27 over the Warhawks.
And they've been very impressive on the defensive end, holding a very...
Will start off with the ball for the third quarter. Brooke Shermick will inbound it. Looking at Giannis Jimenez, who has been quite active today as a freshman.
1 for 3 on the day. Does have herself 4 rebounds, made some nice passes. Great on the defensive end. Impressed with how she's played so far.
And a pass left wide open for Jimenez to the rim, but couldn't finish it off. And UW Whitewater will look to get the first points of this half. That one tipped by Sarah Williams. Great play by the duo of Williams and Schrammick, the two returning starters this season. Williams down low and starts off the second half with a pair of points.
Picking up right where she left off. Wisconsin's an offense built on spreading the ball around. They had 5 scores in double digits, but so far the philosophy of Wisconsin has been shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot.
Schrammick drew the charge from UW Whitewater, and a great play by her defensively. Weisinger will inbound it.
And Whitewater had a great first quarter, scored 17 points to the Badgers 21, but in the second only scored 10 points.
Full court press here from the Warhawks. Weisinger for 3, made one earlier. Here's Schrammick for 3. It's good! Schrammick joins the scoring, her first points of the day.
And a nice hockey assist from Williams there. Get into the open man who could then pass it over to get Schrammick that look.
Hildebrandt makes a move, deked out Sarah Williams and finishes that.
Wow,
what a play.
Might be the play of the day right there from Belschner.
Williams gets 2 Warhawks jumping, and that was a nice fake out by Williams.
Man, Ryzak could.
Timeout called by head coach Carrie Corallo for the Warhawks as we reach our first timeout of the third quarter and of the second half. We'll head to a break here. And fans traveling just down the road to Madison from Whitewater. And, of course, a lot of these players on UW Whitewater resided or grew up near the Madison area.
And that's just awesome to see, John. I know that Whitewater hosted a bit of a get-together at the nitty-gritty before the game, so they're embracing bringing these fans over here, and they have showed up in droves.
Corallo tripped up, loses the ball, and he'll go in possession for the Wisconsin Badgers. Full court press here again, showing from the Warhawks. Schrammick finds Leisinger and gets it up past half court to Sarah Williams. There's Deonis Jimenez. And Corallo trying to make a great play, turn it over, and it will. Corallo, great defense, gets the ball back for the Warhawks.
And great job by the Warhawks there. I was going to say that, good job from Wisconsin working up the floor, but Whitewater took time off the shot clock. But not only do they do that, they get the turnover as well on the other end.
And that one pulled up and good. Warhawks find an answer, perhaps. Start to get the ball moving in the second half as that shot coming in from Alexander. Weisinger dishes it to Jimenez. Jimenez comes up, pulls up, shot. Just missed as it rolled out. She comes up limping. That's something you want to see in an exhibition.
Well, has a smile on her face. Looks like she's going to head to the line.
Jimenez will shoot. And makes that one.
In Wisconsin, they didn't have the greatest record in the world last year, but they ended the year with a ton of momentum. Won 4 of their last 5, 3 straight to end the regular season, including a trouncing of then-ranked Michigan. So they might not bring back the same players this year, but they've brought back a ton of momentum, and I'd say that they're putting it on a full display right here, leading by 20.
Jimenez perfect on that trip. There's Corallo going up against Patty Bandla. Trying to make a move. Leisinger gets her hands on the ball and forces a jump ball with Trouch on the possession of it.
Badgers a defense that likes to double Good job there.
The ball kicks off Williams, but stays in play. Golding off the side of the backboard, and Leisinger and Porter carry it up. Arnie Porter going up against London Alexander. Makes a spin. Passes it out to Schrammick. She'll shoot a three. Once more, it's Schrammick, her second three of the day.
And that's the second time we've seen Ronnie Porter execute that spin move, and not just using the space to get herself a look, but getting her teammate a look instead.
Goulding shot no good. Porter behind the back. Leisinger. Schrammick to Patty Bandla. Williams down in the paint and finishes it off. Gets tangled up after it. But Williams again finding the net. And Corallo gets tripped, trying to fling it up. And that will be a foul against Leisinger.
What's encouraging about Whitewater here is that, they're down in the score by quite a bit, but they're playing with the same intensity that they brought when they started this game. I mean, they're seeing them getting out and hustle, diving for balls, willingly driving inside into contact. That's the kind of philosophy that Coach Corallo has brought to this squad, is what made them so successful for so long.
Corallo's first free throw there, good.
But a lot of credit to Whitewater's women's basketball success. He's ranked 13th right now, according to the D3Hoops.com poll. But it goes to the university as well. I mean, Coach Corallo has talked to us about how she feels so supported by the school. I mean, Whitewater, it'd be easier to list the schools that they're not dominant in because I wouldn't have to say anything at all. They're great across the board.
Porter moving it up. There's Patty Bandla. Nice fake. Gets it in.
And this time the Badgers expertly navigate around the press.
Corallo. Shot. Comes out. Corallo up to 7 points on the day after her last free throw trip. The Badgers now have it up 15, 58-33 with 5:50 to go in the third. Leisinger has it all the way and couldn't get it up fast enough. They'll get a violation, so they couldn't get it past half court.
And that press, Wisconsin navigated last time, but this time running into some trouble here. It's almost like running some zone coverage in football. Great job across the board from the Warhawks covering their man.
Trouch finds Grundahl trying to spin and gets the foul called on Schrammick. And then it's Schrammick's third foul.
Yeah, it's been a tough night as a whole from Trouch. Just 3 points on 1 for 7 shooting, but you got to admire the aggressiveness. I mean, she's someone who was their third leading scorer last year. In her senior year, a great defender. She's someone who's going to have to take another step up, is what she's been doing her entire career at Whitewater.
Grundle's shot. Good from the line. She'll get the second one. Perfect trip for Grundle. And Mercer Mosley. The Badgers will head to a timeout. Mosley called the timeout after a trip to the free throw line for Goulding. Or for Grundle, that is. Porter passes up. Leisinger. Whitewater maybe wanting a travel as that ball was kind of loose. Porter right side out, finding her teammate in Grady. A freshman forward is out there now. Jimenez dribbling it. Gets Jones to try and set a pick. Not that successful. Now it's a shot coming from distance, and Grady could not connect on that one. And Porter stinging on defense, nearly able to rip it right back. Grundahl inside and no good. And that foul called. Warhawks off the bench happy as that foul called on Natalie Leisinger.
And great job from the Warhawks there. I mean, Porter almost came away with the steal, but instead was out of position. And Whitewater able to capitalize on numbers.
Another foul called. That one on Tessa Grady, who recently got in. Sarah Williams comes back in for MB Jones. Another substitution. Anna Guyan comes in for Leisinger.
Meanwhile, Bucky Badger takes a seat right behind us. The most lovable pest in college basketball.
Corallo looking for an open teammate. Now it's out to McCurdy. McCurdy will take it, rip-its it, and no good. Porter.
You know, John, Wisconsin's offense has been great today, shooting over 50% from the field, but I think the story has been their defense. Struggled last year. Whitewater only 13 of 40 from the field today.
Jimenez for three on the dish from Porter, who went around the Warhawks defense, no good. Now all the way down to Grundahl, over her head, out of bounds, and right back to the Badgers.
And the closing speed on Wisconsin on full display there. It looked like that touchdown pass was open, but the Badgers swoop in to contest that one.
Picking up. Jimenez finds a gap. Couldn't backhand it in. Williams finds Porter off the rebound. Porter comes in, shoots, draws a foul. Getting helped up by Corallo.
Well, we talk about Sarah Williams passing being a big factor in this game. I mean, she's out here completing passes while laying on the ground. It's definitely getting her involved in every facet of this game.
Porter's free throw good now, 2 for 3 on the day. Her second one, great as well, and now 3 for 4. And Jimenez steals it behind the back, off glass and in. And Porter rips it back. She gets it in. What a sequence by the Badgers. This Badgers defense on red alert. Out of the timeout called by the Warhawks. They have it here. B. Trouch taking it up after a great sequence by the Badgers in the defense. Ronnie Porter and Jimenez coming up with it. Made it 64 after making it 62. And they nearly lead by 30. Grundahl on the right. Now it's Corallo coming in. Finds Grundahl. Draws the foul.
And despite Whitewater's shortcomings, there's been some sign of life here on offense. Averaged just about 12 assists per game last year. They've collected 9 already here in this game. No matter who they're playing against, great ball movement is non-negotiable for the Warhawks.
Tessa Towers, a center, checks in for the Badgers, a sophomore center from Illinois. That free throw from Grundahl, no good.
And for the Warhawks, that center spot, one that's going to see a rare dose of some new players. I mean, Abby Belschner just graduated, was a long-time staple for them at that position. Great rebounder, great shot blocker, and you can tell that her interior presence is sorely missed
Jimenez driving forward, and Towers over and gets it.
And right on cue, Wisconsin using that height and boxing out defenders to get that rebound and get the putback.
And that one taken up by Guyan, stolen, and gets it herself.
Wisconsin, close game after the first quarter. They now lead by 32.
And finish it off. Makes it 68, 32-point lead. Warhawks in the bonus. There's Corallo stepping back, surveying, finds Grundahl, who takes the shot, but an air ball. Corallo comes up with the ball, 20 on the shot clock. Towers again, showing that height advantage. Now coming up, it's Jimenez. Giannis Jimenez showcasing herself, the new one for the Badgers today. And now that one, good pass for Grundahl, and she's able to get the second effort in.
Good for Grundahl, not giving up on the play. She's having a pretty solid performance overall, has 13 points in this one.
Ronnie Porter, 2 Warhawks on her just by that line in the backcourt. There's Giannis Jimenez with 11 points, 12 on the shot clock. Takes the 3. Just to the right, going for the rebound, was Tessa Grady.
And now we're starting to see the benches empty out for both teams, and it's easy to call this garbage time, but I'd say this is an exciting opportunity to see some players who aren't usually going to participate. I mean, it's almost like you get to see the starters and you get to see the other players as well.
And trying to save it in, Leisinger keeps it off a steal. She surveys, finds Jimenez. There's Tessa Towers just trying to fling it in. That one could not.
And these bench players, they're bringing energy too, because they're not just playing to try and get on the floor in future years. There's minutes available for both of these teams, and these players are fighting for it right here.
Driving forward, McCurdy. Back out to Corallo. Now a 3. It's great from Grundahl.
And great to see Corallo getting going now. She's up to double-digit points.
I think that's all right. That was Hildebrandt with the shot, 44. Giannis Jimenez got it, but she's limping up the court. And Porter is about to check in for her at the next break. With the action, Towers' defense there. There's Zieg all the way out to the left. There's 3-pointer. Another 3. This one from Corallo.
And Jimenez staying in the game right here, was limping before, looked a little slow on the defensive end. I mean, looks like she's able to walk it off here.
She does seem like she's hurt there on that leg, trying to get that shot off before the end of the quarter. But after 3, Badgers 72, Warhawks 44. B. Jones come out with Anagayan.
A pretty lively atmosphere here at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin, a school that definitely supports its women's athletics. I believe last year the first team or first school ever to have 7,000 fans show up for a volleyball, hockey, and basketball women's game.
Dishing out to Sylvia Fox. More in on the action later in this game. It's Fox.
Reason why this stadium is so full is because of the Whitewater fans there.
The shot from London Alexander, a bit far, but something to be happy up there for you, the Whitewater.
And great to see the Whitewater bench hasn't lost any of its energy. A standing, roaring ovation from the reserves as their teammate heads to the line.
Guyan made the shot, or made the foul. Gets Lehman to the free throw line.
It's easy to perhaps throw some criticism at players who are celebrating a lot during games, but you know, it's just a fact that you're better when you're confident. And these teams are not cheering against their opponents. They're just cheering because they're glad that they're seeing their players find this success.
Now Patty Banla goes out, stays with Wisconsin. Out to Porter. Trying to scheme something up here. She'll drive. Finishes it off. Ronnie Porter from that guard position having a solid day today.
Yeah, playing some heavy minutes today. 27 minutes, 5 assists from the field, got herself 14 points. Go along with 8 assists. I mean, we've been talking about Sarah Williams quite a bit. Porter might be the player of the game here tonight.
Yeah, 14 points, 5 for 6. Three-pointer as well. She might be that replacement there at the point. And there she is again. She takes it away. Takes it herself. And make that 16 points for Ronnie Porter.
And the loss of Avery Barbarossa last year, I mean, it left some questions, but Porter looks like she's answering those questions pretty convincingly with how this game's going.
Alexander a 3. And that hit nothing but net.
An excellent ball movement there from the Warhawks. They've been pretty cold from the three-point line today, but that's not what they're usually like. They're going to be much more consistent the rest of this year.
Weisinger on the pass from Porter. A great dish. There's Patty Banlaw for 3. Drilled.
And Wisconsin have some success of their own. They're 5 of 12 now from behind the arc. Shoot more threes than average. Going to be an important part of their game. They want 1 through 5 to be able to shoot consistently.
Rittmeyer passes back behind to Fox. Fox to Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer now up against Porter. Alexander down low to Lehman. Lehman to Alexander. And it gets loose. It'll be a violation, but not called as Porter got the ball. Porter Weisinger thought about it. Gets it out to Guyan. Guyan at 3. Comes up short. Jones backing up. She'll turn around and couldn't connect. Rittmeyer to her right. It's Fox. Lehman. Finds Demon and Zieg. Zieg trying to go down low with the pass. Lehman in the area. But a foul called on the Guyan. And a full substitution there for UW Whitewater. Giannis Jimenez seems to be doing fine. She checks back in for the Badgers, getting more minutes in.
And that's really encouraging to see because after the quarter end, she kind of took a second to gather herself at the scorer's table.
3 far, but a foul called. Ian again on the foul.
Julia Brutch seeing her first collegiate action. Freshman from Sussex, expected to be someone who grows into a role here for the Warhawks.
Bruch, first shot no good from the free throw line. The second one good. She gets a third. Trying to go 2 for 3 on the trip. Connects on that. Goes 2 for 3. Giannis Jimenez takes it up. Trying to navigate. Dishes it out. And could not finish it was Vanderpool, but Vanderpool gets her a rebound. Gets it again, maybe. Goes out of bounds. It'll go the Warhawks' way with under now 6:40 to go. Zhang out there now as a guard. A three-pointer attempt coming in from Anderson. No good. Patty Banlaw now getting around, trying to get it. Whistle blows, and a foul. Patty Banlaw gets called for a charge. Candence Zhang.
Kaiten Zong from West Bend, Wisconsin. She tormented my hometown, Hartford Orioles, quite a bit during her time. It's exciting to see. You know, Whitewater's a team that gets most of their players from Wisconsin. It's so cool seeing these high school players, seeing them grow into the future success. And, I mean, their Wisconsin roots are why they have so many fans here.
Lowry gets to the free throw line, makes the first. So UW Whitewater able to draw a lot of fouls here near the end of this exhibition. And makes the second perfect trip. Giannis Jimenez takes it up the left side. Backing up. Vanderpool, the pick, setting up, and finishing it off. Jimenez.
Jimenez up to 15 points on the day.
And Leisinger almost able to make a spectacular play to keep it for the Badgers. Still a great effort. There's Leisinger on defense against Zhang. Up to Grady on defense. Now it's Jimenez having to go down low, trying to play defense against Nice, who finishes the play. Gets the Warhawks up to 54.
And I'll tell you what, John, they're taking a bite out of this deficit. I mean, Badgers leading by more than 32. That score's dropping quite a bit. It's been an encouraging run for the Warhawks.
Leisinger gives it to Grady. Grady now out to Patty Banlutz. Vanderpool in the paint. Defense there coming from Maddie Anderson. A three hoisted up and bounces off the rim, coming in from Brutch.
And obviously Whitewater down 27 points with less than 5 minutes to play. You wouldn't expect them to come away with this with a win, but still an opportunity to put up some encouraging.
Keep November 7th, 6:30 p.m. tip. Then they'll host Western Illinois on the 9th and South Dakota State on the 14th. They won't head on the road until November 19th. And then they have the Fort Myers tip-off in Florida. They'll get to face Arkansas, Marquette, or Boston College. And they'll have their first Big Ten match against Caitlin Clark's Iowa, December 10th. Warhawks out of the timeout. Zong on the right wing. 5 left. 5 left on the shot clock as that one defense there from Patty Banlutz, but gets called for the foul, and that sends Anderson to the free throw line. And for the Warhawks, after this exhibition, November 10th, they get their season started with the UW Stevens Point tip-off. They'll play Concordia College, and they'll get to play St. Norbert College. After that, Ripon College, Carroll University, Illinois Wesleyan University, Calvin University, and Concordia University. Anderson's free throw there, good.
And Whitewater just had so much success in that WIAH conference, won it 7 of the last 14 times.
Leisinger will take it out. Has Jones to her left and hands it off. Giannis Jimenez steps back, hoisted up. Foot was on the 3-point line. And Leisinger comes up with the rebound and a foul called.
It looked like a bit of a miscommunication there from Whitewater. No one really sure who's going to get the rebound, so the Badgers swoop in and say, I'll take that if you don't want it.
Leisinger to inbound. Finds Patty Banlutz. Bounce pass to Towers. Towers spins. No good. A 3-pointer from Brutch. Hit is good as it rattles in.
Whitewater continuing to take a bite out of the deficit. The lead that was once 34.
Jimenez pass to Towers. Leisinger for 3. Overboard on that one. 3:44 to go. Few substitutions. Brooke Stramick and Ronnie Porter, starters, get back on the court. Stramick, 6 points today, both from beyond the arc. Porter gives it to Patty Bandla. Patty Bandla trying to get in, no charge, and hits her own ball off a tip, and Badgers can't score on that possession.
And great defensive possession from the Warhawks. I mean, you talk about starters coming back in the game. No hesitation inside, contesting multiple shots at the rim.
Now that one trying to go down, but Jones' defense there giving some trouble for that pass.
Yeah, they've been trying to feed Lehman the ball quite a bit down low.
Another turnover for the Warhawks. They're 20th. Badgers have 9 despite having a few at the beginning of this game. Weisinger, she'll shoot the 3. And bit offline on that. Weisinger, 5 points today, has a 3-pointer, as well as a normal field goal. Brutch to the left, Zieg. Now down to Lehman. That ball goes up in the air as Leisinger comes away with it. 2.5 to go. Porter. It's Jones trying to help her out there. 4 Warhawks now about to check in. Now a 3 from Stramick, trying to get a magic number of 3 of threes. Stramick makes a nice effort diving onto the ground as that ball came loose. Leisinger there too. Zong there for the Warhawks.
If you showed someone that clip, John, I don't know if they would know how lopsided this score is. Multiple bodies hitting the floor, players on both sides diving, trying to get a loose ball. It's just been great basketball start to finish here at the Kohl Center.
That foul was called on Current. There's Jones. Patty Bandla. She's out to Porter. Porter almost thought about the 3. Now she drives in. Gets it. Floats it up.
What a finish there from Porter. Just piling on what has been an incredible afternoon for her.
And nice off the glass. Maddie Anderson. Now it's Ronnie Porter. Under 2 to go. Stramick. And the Badgers still with some up-tempo here. Trying to find MB Jones. And taken away by the Warhawks. Going up Zong. She backs off with Leisinger on defense. MB Jones over Ronnie Porter and kisses off the glass. It's Logan Lowry. And that will turn into a half of this exhibition. And these teams both still going at it, getting the practice in.
And I think both teams are going to take a lot from this experience. I mean, areas that both teams can work on. Whitewater, their inside defense. Wisconsin maybe trying to rack up a couple more assists on the board. But, I mean, that's what both these teams came here to do, is to learn what their weaknesses are, try some new schematics. And I really do think that both of these teams have a bright future. I mean, Wisconsin's brought in a plethora of recruits that have played pretty darn well to this point so far, John. Some freshmen last year establishing themselves as sophomore. Look at Sarah Williams and Ronnie Porter. The Giannis Yemenas playing very well. But, I mean, Whitewater has just had so much success over the past years, and a lot of that comes from the community support. And they recognize that, to be honest. These players very active in the community. I saw that they last week spent a bunch of time at the local senior home. Awesome to see. You played some bingo with the residents. You a big bingo guy, John?
It's been a bit. But Sherman gets the 7 points off that free throw trip. 1 for 2 there. 45 to go. And nice spin move there by Maddie Anderson. Whistle on the court. Sherman will go back to inbound, but for UW Whitewater going forward, little priority again this season was balancing things out. October is about putting the work in the gym as we get to the end of this month. And they want to probably try and play 10 players in their rotation throughout the regular season. But this is a team that has won 3 of the last 4 conference titles. It's that pass going for MB Jones. A bit too far out, under 30 to go. The shot clock will now be off for the rest of this one.
And I saw Whitewater just got themselves a new locker room, so they'll be excited to return to there and play some home games at the Catchell Gymnasium. But I saw it was funded partially by a fundraiser. As that one's knocked out of bounds. I saw they had a pig roast fundraiser, provided Packer tickets, Badger tickets, coolers, and golf clubs, sponsored by Quick Trip. Probably the most Wisconsin sentence that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Closing seconds of this, that one going out, and Badger still valiant on defense here. Now 10.6. See what the Badgers do with it if they'll just run it out. Tony Porter will do just that. Closing out this exhibition, a final 84 for the Wisconsin Badgers, 64 for the UW Whitewater Warhawks.
Music by Visual Network.
चल के बा बंदे के
ए भोला समय पे सेल भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के बुझो जी अब करे हमर इंतजार पिसन संडे के सुन
स्टूडियो सिमरा।